But I didn't kill that man. I didn't.
She's right. She has nothing to do with the murder.
What?
I just used her as a decoy to lull the real killer into giving me clean directional cues.
Oh, come on. What are you talking about now?
Whatever way he didn't want us to go is the way that we went.
The real killer.
Yeah. You want to guess who it is?
Come on, James.
Neil. Hey.
This is The Mentalist, a show about a consultant, Patrick Jane, who helps solve murders through his charms and his ability to read and manipulate people, as you just saw. And it's one of my favorite shows that I've seen in the last year. While the show's writing in its entirety is pretty decent, but nothing incredible, the per episode writing is brilliant. And that is mostly because of one simple trick. Let me tell you. Oh, and I do recommend watching the show, by the way. There's 7 seasons and I went through them in like 2 months. Which also says a lot about me. There is one writing tip that I learned a year or 2 ago that basically says if you want your character to succeed at something, do not tell your reader or your viewer what their plan is. It's a tip that has stuck with me since, but never had I actually seen it in action the way I did with The Mentalist. Because they live by that idea. Every single episode. Even to the point that they almost tell the viewers about it. If you watch the show, you'll know what I mean. But if you're familiar with the tip, you'll probably also start to notice it's true from the very first episode. Am I out of focus? I'm very much out of focus. But I started noticing it more and more the further I got with the show, and in the last few seasons, when Patrick Jane has a certain idea and he is asked what that idea is, he usually says something along the lines of,
Where's the fun in that?
and at that moment I will know that this idea will most likely succeed. Because if you know about a plan in a story beforehand, it's usually not that exciting to see it pan out, because it can't really mess with your emotions as well as it normally would, simply because it's missing a good portion of surprise, which matters a lot in stories. And I'm not talking about plot twists. You can predict things that you don't know, but learning about things that you don't know for the first time is much more exciting than knowing up front. Because if you don't know what's going to happen, anything could have been part of the plan. And with this show, it usually is. Another great example is the Ocean's movies. Not sure if you're familiar with them, but they're pretty big and crazy. In those movies, you learn about the main plan basically from the start, which according to this tip that I just told you about, that should mean that it should fail. Which it does, to a certain extent, but the cool thing about these films is that that was actually part of the plan, which you didn't know about. And since you were kept in the dark about it, it worked. And that is why those movies are such a great viewing experience. At least for me. I don't know you. In my writing, I found that the same was the case with Not My Dream Diary, my upcoming suspense thriller novel. Without spoiling anything, I realized that I was giving the reader a tiny snippet of my main character's plan right before executing it. And what that made me realize was that what came after it wasn't nearly as impactful as I wanted it to be. And thus, when I took it out, it had way more impact. So I'm telling you, the tip is real. If you don't know what's coming, the journey is way more impressive. As you can probably tell, I love this tip. It's incredibly simple, very easy to understand, but it is so important to your story. In my opinion, it can make or break a story. And while it did get me to watch movies or TV shows differently, and it definitely ruined a bunch of episodes of The Mentalist for me, at least the surprise effect it was trying to achieve, I'm still very glad I know, as it's been of great help with my own writing. Besides, nothing could ever actually ruin The Mentalist for me, come on. It is way too much fun. Except for what they did to Agent Fisher. I don't think I'll ever forgive them for that. Anyway, I hope that was useful. This was a different kind of video. I would like to do more stuff like this because I do watch a lot of movies and TV shows and I do learn a lot from them. So I would gladly do this again. If you enjoyed, please do hit that like button and subscribe. Watch my other videos about making books and let me know in the comments what you want to see more. Alright, have a good one. Bye!